Welcome. My name is Penelope Chatterton. Welcome to Awaken the Dream. My friends, I have Jim Belleau back this week. We had a wonderful time last week talking about his book, Quantum Reggae, Message from Bob, Volume Oneness. He is a lyricist. He is a Course in Miracles facilitator. And he's very real. And that's his inspiration for me, is he steps into his boots very comfortably and claims his wonderful mission, and we want to share that with you. So thanks for coming back.
You're very welcome.
Okay, so we have the book. How in the world can we help our friends today with being open? Let's put it that way. We have spiritual folks who watch this program. Well, that's a given. It's almost like you got into the Course world. You know, we're hungry for inner peace. We're hungry for a relief of suffering. So folks who, we can accept the fact they're looking for some inspiration.
Yeah, this is providing that.
Yeah.
All my adult life, I had this, I was wondering, how did Bob Marley reach the level he did? How did he go in a period of about 7 years from poverty in Trenchtown, Jamaica to being pretty much king of the world by 1980? Just remarkable. And I had read biographies of him, read his life story, studied the Rastafarian doctrines a little bit, but none of it explained it. None of it explained what he did, and so I didn't realize that this was a question that really meant a lot to me. And this, I was given the answer. I cracked Bob Marley's code in a way that no one else has in a book form. And what he did was he embedded the music with his belief system, and that's not really terribly revelatory to a spiritual oriented person, because that's what we're doing anyway.
Yeah.
But what he had done was he had elevated certain of his beliefs to such a level that they had to come true. What I mean is he was working from presence. And if we're on a spiritual path, what the spiritual path is trying to do is get us to go from being identified with an image in our mind to being to becoming the presence that we are. We're going from image to presence. Bob Marley achieved that before he came into the lifetime that we know of. So he came in fully in presence.
Yeah.
And he had several of his beliefs in rock-solid order, one of them being his belief in God. It's rock-solid. His belief in the oneness, that the oneness is real, rock-solid.
Yeah. It
was the third one that really made him exceptional. He believed totally and completely that music could change the world. And so it had to become his experience, which drug us all along with him.
Yeah.
Because the consciousness had to honor his, because he believed it so perfectly.
Yeah.
And that's the key. And so since we're embedding everything, all of our creations, with our belief system already, why not do it deliberately instead of unconsciously? And so it's open to anyone to achieve what Bob Marley did. So not only did I crack his code, but it's offered, the beauty of the book really is like, and here's how you can do it also, if you'd like to go for it.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping you'd say.
Yes.
Yeah. So folks need to practice the presence. They need to be open. They need to hear their guidance. They need to be ready to go for something special. I do think everyone has got something very special to do.
Yes.
I mean, everyone has something.
Yes, our desires are apparent to us, but what I've learned through this is that we have desires that we're not aware of. And so when Bob Marley contacted me, and I was so
You'll
pleased.
Get used to it.
I was so pleased that I realized that this was like a dream come true. This was the deepest desire I could possibly. It was so fantastic that I couldn't have come up with it for myself because I wouldn't have believed it.
Very well said.
That such a thing could occur.
Yeah.
So, but it did occur, and so when one starts messing with their belief systems and changing their mind about things and releasing in the way that A Course in Miracles and this book describe, then what was unconscious before can be revealed and start to come true.
Yeah, I love the way you say forgiveness gives it all.
Yes.
You just really can change your mind.
Yeah, quantum forgiveness is the key. That's the key to unlocking everything, and it's explained in great detail in the book.
Yeah, love your neighbor as yourself is powerful. I mean, it's...
Yeah.
It's...
The simple definition of quantum forgiveness would be, why should I forgive something or someone?
Yeah.
Well, in actuality, in reality, I'm forgiving myself when I do that. And that's where quantum forgiveness departs from the ordinary version of forgiveness.
Yeah. All thoughts come back to us.
Yeah.
Everything has a source. It's all about, it all comes back.
And how that's true, how it's true that when I forgive you for being a son of a gun to me, and I release it, how that is forgiving myself is revealed in the experience. It's an experience. It's not a theory. It's not. It's not an aphorism. It's a direct experience of, oh, I can begin to understand now why it is for me that I'm doing this.
Yeah. You feel the release.
Yeah. And you feel
free, and it opens doors.
It's actually very, very powerful.
Yeah.
That's the source of real power.
Yeah.
That's the source of real power, is in those realms.
Yeah.
Of the new areas, the empty space in the mind that you have to leave in order to trust.
Yeah. We have our grievances are our teachers.
Yeah, the Course says you can have either a grievance or a miracle.
Yeah.
You have to. You can't have both.
Yeah.
So when we start to forgive, we start releasing grievances, then the miracles can start to take their place because they occupy the same place in the mind.
Yeah. Which was what you said earlier last week. We really have to set ourselves up for the day. We have to get ourselves ready to go and listen and say, here I am. What are we doing? Yeah,
there's a real stage involved where you have to
set the scene.
Get with God at the beginning of the day, even if it's just for 90 seconds or even 1 minute. 10 minutes is preferable, but you do have to touch it. And once in a 24-hour cycle at least, and then it can begin. Yeah.
And then you walk into your day not knowing what's going to happen.
Right. The day can become wondrous.
Yes.
Rather than onerous.
Yeah. Humans just love to control and plan and look for outcomes and expectations and.
Right. And I want to know why I should forgive you before I will.
Yeah.
This is saying forgive, and then you'll know why.
Yeah, and we do love grievances too. Human beings love grievances. We have an appetite for that.
Oh yeah,
it's
that's actually the purpose of this world, is to have something to blame.
Yes, there you go.
And that's really the purpose of this world.
Yeah,
and so that can be transformed. That dynamic can be transformed in your mind and thus in your experience.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, take Bob Marley, your love for Bob Marley, and what he's given you. Like if you've noticed, if you've ever walked into a store you've never been into or a city you've never been into, and they're playing Bob Marley's music, it's like it's okay. Yeah. I wear a Bob Marley t-shirt, and people treat me differently than if I'm not wearing it. They're more open, they're more positive. Yeah. It's funny. It's fabulous. Yeah. And so, but that's the thing. That's the message of this book, is like, you have access to what he had access to, and do you want to go for it? Maybe you've suffered enough trying to do it your way.
Yeah.
There's another way.
Yeah.
Another way, another voice.
Yeah. And we can do that. We're responsible for that.
Right.
We're in charge. As you said, the mind is powerful.
Oh, the mind is the source. It's at cause. The mind is at cause. So if you change your mind, then the effect is going to change in time.
Yeah. Gee, you sound like such a good course student.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I've been doing it for a while, since 2005.
Did you have a background when you were a kid that was very traditional, by any chance?
Yes. I am the most unlikely guy to be working with Bob Marley this way. I'm a prep school, New England, white boy. Yeah. I went to St. John's Prep in Danvers.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, the whole campus, thing, deciduous trees. Yeah. So I'm actually a good choice because, say a Rastafarian came up with this.
Because you're the least likely choice.
I'm the least likely, yeah. It's like...
Why not?
Right.
If we could...
Right.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it actually lends credence to this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Although, one of the great course teachers, Tom Carpenter, he said to me in a letter that he said he felt that it was an agreement Bob and I had before I came into this lifetime, that there was a prearranged aspect to it. And it's funny because I remember the first time I ever saw a Rastafarian in person, it made a deep impression on me. And it was a very emotional experience, and I had no idea why. It was years ago. It was sometime around 1979 or 80.
You just felt?
Yeah, I went to see a reggae band called Black Uhuru, and it was the first time I'd seen Rastas in person, and it just had this deep emotional connection. I felt like I didn't know what it was, but it really moved me, and so now it's come around, and it's understandable now. Yeah.
So you're going to help our friends today to be open, to get into the presence. Don't be afraid to say yes.
Right, I'm not afraid to say yes to Brother Bob.
No matter how absurd it may sound or feel.
Right.
That's, I think, what I want to try and...
Right, but remember, you won't be thrust into something that you're not
ready for.
Ready for, yes. This is a gentle thing. The awakening is gentle.
Yes.
And so it's a process that is for you. It's for you.
Yeah.
And so whatever might work for you as a miraculous experience, it's a subjective thing.
Yeah.
And so what I would experience as a miracle would be, it's a rather personal and intimate thing.
Yeah.
Although when you talk about them, they have a universal effect. So we are meant to testify.
Yeah.
But the first thing is to begin one's own healing. That's the goal, to begin one's own healing.
Do you ever look back and say, gee, could I have been that person? You know, when you think of the phases you go through and the growth spurts and either the big healings, and then you might plateau a little bit, and then all of a sudden something else opens up. I mean, there's such an interesting flow to growth and the whole process. And then, I don't know about you, I can look back and say, oh, that couldn't have been me. You know, who is that? I mean, because the memory is gone of a time that I've changed so much. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I find myself being deeply grateful that I'm not listening to just the ego voice. I think to myself, where on earth would I be today if I was just still totally identified with just the wrong advisor?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would still be going in circles that really led me to complete despair.
Yeah.
And
you hit a rock bottom.
Yeah, I hit rock bottom. Yeah, not through drugs or anything, but just through emotional despairs. Like I just can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
You know, another relationship is ending.
Yeah.
You know, I have to be alone again, and the piano strings were just getting too frayed.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were ready to snap.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and then finally, that's where you get totally fed up with suffering. You have enough suffering. That's where the God self begins, right there, at that note. It's a tremendous opportunity. It's okay to be fed up with suffering.
Yeah, well said.
It's okay to be tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the message is usually, the message on this level reaches people who are more in the second half of life.
Okay.
Because they're, you know, experiencing the cycles of having the rug pulled out from under you over and over again, and it gets tiring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to have you read something for us.
Yes, I'd love to.
And I'd like you to explain why and what you're going to. Yeah.
So what's we explained in the first show was that I started receiving song lyrics. That's how this project began. This book has more in it than just song lyrics, but I began receiving song lyrics in it started in a meditation, but then I just started doing it, whenever I felt like it, it was there.
Yeah.
And so I'd like to read one of the songs just so you can see the level that it's written on. And each song is a tool. It has a concept that you can apply to your life. Now this song is called To Live.
To live.
To live. And the concept in the song is, be not afraid to take these steps because they will work. Your guide will emerge into your awareness as you progress. Begin to experience the Christ mind and heart. So those three major concepts are what are being lovingly described in a song. So these songs are reliable sources of guidance.
Okay.
Which the key words being reliable sources, because there's a lot of music out there, and there are a lot of lyrics that are cool, and I admire anyone who can make sense of the dream from within it. I can't do that.
Yeah.
So these lyrics come in at vertical angles to the horizontal plane of perception.
Okay.
And so that's why they're a little startling.
They shift you.
They will. They can shift you if you're ready. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So let me read this just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
The song is called To Live. To live is to forgive. Release to find your peace of mind. Let go because you do not know. What I tell will destroy hell. Now they're all written in the first person, so this is really literally can be viewed as Bob Marley speaking from the Oneness. They're all in first person.
Okay.
Are you afraid of what I say? What would there be without your hell? Release, I say, but you hold your sway anyway. Cling so tight to what is not real. How on earth are you to heal? To live, to live. When you forgive, release, release, uncover the peace. It's right there, it's everywhere. Dispel your fear so I can come near. Along with me you shall see. It was never far, it will never cease. How can it be far when it is what you are? You are the thing you seek. Take the steps, catch your own fire. You already are what you think is the higher. It will be seen, just what I mean. It will be felt as the ego it melt. When you dispel hell, forgive and live, release into peace. Learn to see and feel you are free. Dispel your fear, I will come near. The music helps you to hear, to heal and feel what is truly there. My music, my thought, my belief, my meaning. I knew what to follow and how to listen. There is a voice inside that all can hear, connected to feeling this huge repair. Let my music connect the dots. Jam down with me over and over, a lot. Just simply don't stop. Raise the connection. Feel the perfection. You do not need protection from perfect reflection. You'll enter this place and look me in the eye, and every brother and sister will shine, and you'll know it was there all the time. It was never not, but you just forgot how to hear and bring peace near, to listen to what and how to disregard. Find and keep this in your yard, all as it expands across all lands, taking the place of the laws of man. Seen? See what I mean? It's inside you, the sister, the queen. It's inside you, the brother, the king. Selassie, I gave it to me, my precious, the ring. I pass it to you, so you'll hold it true. Emerge from the maze, return my gaze. It's inside, it's right here, woven into my music for all to hear. I love you all when you stand tall. You have my loyalty, you are my royalty. We are connected, you'll soon come to see, because in reality you are completely free. Yeah.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah, that's a first draft. That's how they come out. Yeah.
That must have blown you away.
Oh, it blows me away. Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah. Oh, that's really gorgeous.
But it also feels deeply natural. You see, everything I said seems perfectly obvious when you're hearing it.
Yeah.
And that's what miracles are. Miracles are perfectly natural expressions of truth.
Yeah. They make sense.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that someone like Sting or Bono or will just see these lyrics and just light up and say, hey, let's listen for the music that goes with these.
Yeah. So you'd be open to whatever happens.
Oh yeah.
And you're on a roll now. You know something's going to happen.
Right. I used to think I was steering the project, that I was just steering, and that's not correct. I'm in the back seat now. I just sit in the back seat, just letting it all be.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
I had asked you before the show, do you see these gentlemen that you collaborated with?
Yeah, Maragini is the musician that produced the 10 tracks.
Okay.
And Don Mann produced them, and he and Maragini together in Jamaica. But no, I don't. I have email contact with them.
Isn't that something?
But yeah, I've met Maragini, but not spent a whole lot of time with him. But I'm hoping to be backstage while he's touring for Quantum Reggae at some point. You know, that would be okay too.
Yeah. Well, it's.
But I don't know what will happen. Yeah, I don't know what will happen tomorrow. It's just letting it unfold and doing my part.
Yeah.
You know,
what you're doing right now and experiencing is the miracle of the truth of sharing that.
Right.
And that is just so important for our guests to understand that they've all got a way to do it. It doesn't have to be your way or mine, but there's some way that they can keep themselves above board and remember. Right.
So this really is the completion of Bob Marley's message of freedom. He kind of left things up in the air when he passed.
Okay.
You know, there was no one that could fill his shoes. And and I'm not saying that I am. What I'm saying is that the information needed to complete his message of freedom is in this book.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so who knows what will happen. I'm hoping that lots of people will start writing quantum music.
Yeah.
Start writing quantum lyrics.
Yeah.
Music that can be truly relied on for guidance.
Yeah.
Which is different, a different approach.
Yeah.
And that would be the next step for music to take on a big scale.
Yeah. You know, I studied music history, and it's interesting about the phases that all the Renaissance, the Romantic, you go into all of this, and all of a sudden I'm thinking, what will we call this? Quantum. This will be...
Quantum's the right word.
Quantum is the right word.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I remember when I was young and turned to music for guidance, you know, my father died when I was 17. I had my friends. We had literature and music. But all of the music and all of the literature pretty much that I had access to was, you know, Einstein said you can't solve a problem from within the framework that created it. So you have to you have to remove yourself from the complete grip of perception in order to solve the problem that perception creates.
Yeah.
And that's a vertical intervention.
Yeah.
This is a big intervention.
Yeah. Yeah. My gosh.
Yes, and so that's why the lyrics sound both deeply natural and interesting, yet startlingly strange at the same time.
In our last 5 minutes, as you mentioned, the reggae, it feels like life flowing and pounding and alive. It feels very enlivening.
Yes, well,
you feel on fire.
It's based on the heartbeat. Reggae beat is based on the heartbeat.
There's no one that wouldn't hear this and start thumping.
Right, right. See, remember, Bob Marley was embedding his music with his belief system. And so music was a perfect delivery device. You know how the tobacco companies call cigarettes delivery devices for nicotine?
Yeah.
The delivery device for his presence was music. And it is the most powerful way to do this.
Yeah.
Because it goes to the heart, which is what we're trying to open up.
Yep.
That's where presence is. It's in the heart.
Yeah.
Image is in the mind.
Yeah.
And so he had that fully developed. What he could do was he could unify his emotional state. He could put on whole emotions at will.
Wow.
And he showed me that. Yeah, there's a section in the book. I have 2 direct encounters with him. In the second one, he showed me an emotion.
Wow.
And it was quite an experience. And I realized that I couldn't do this. I couldn't unify my emotions the way he could. So he had a unifying emotion when he was on stage. He would be totally in one unified emotion.
Yeah.
And he was listening. There's a line in the song I just read about, and the music will teach you to hear.
Yeah.
he was listening intently
Yeah.
all the time when he was on stage. If you watch him in his presence, that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
And that's why he would delegate the crowd interactions to Junior Marvin, because he needed the space just to hear, and he would just come out with these things.
Yeah.
You know, just come out with
Yeah.
what he was hearing in the moment, which was unique to that moment.
Yeah.
And that's the lesson: is work on the cause, which is in your mind, not on the effect,
Yeah.
which is out in the world.
Yeah.
So we're reversing those arrows.
And people can listen to other kinds of music and get in touch with their hearts in our
Yes.
last couple of minutes. I mentioned to you I'm a big old English church music person. And I mean, I just get flooded instantly. I mean, I'm just taken out of my whole heart just bursts.
Yeah,
And it's,
that happens with bluegrass, Alison Krauss in particular, and with Celtic music.
Yeah.
Their bluegrass songs are so beautiful. They tell stories so wonderfully well. Just the crafting of the songs, the rhythms, the harmonies, the melodies, they're so superb. And they do that. They just burst me open.
Yeah. Isn't it wonderful to feel?
Oh yeah, to
Oh
really feel.
Yeah.
To really feel and not think it's a double-edged sword. That's the thing. You're removing the second edge from the sword.
Yeah.
So that, I can feel without some trace of fear that the rug's going to be pulled out from under me once again.
I love feeling.
That's where freedom is.
Yeah.
Freedom from fear.
Yeah. Yes. It does erase it.
Right.
You feel connected, joined, you're in the oneness.
And if you want to go out and try to stop all the wars before you cease feeling fear, good luck. If you want to work on it here in your mind, you want to change your mind about fear,
Yeah.
then that could work.
Yeah. Powerful show.
Yes.
In our last minute, our friends, I want them to find you. Your website is...
Website's quantumreggae.com.
Okay.
And that's where the book can be had, or also through Diamond Clear Vision, the publisher's website, or through Amazon.
And people, if they want to get in touch with you?
Yeah, through the website, or my Facebook page, my personal Facebook page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I encourage people to contact me to start working with these ideas, because I feel that that's my role from here on
It
in.
is. You've got something to teach here.
Yeah. To facilitate.
Yeah. Facilitate. Yes, that's true. We're all student teachers.
We're just holding the door for each other.
I know. That's right. Very well said.
That's all it is. Yeah.
Thank you, Jim. And thank you, my friends, for joining us on Awaken the Dream. We will talk to you again soon.